GCSE Maths for Neurodivergent Learners is a book we've designed with a different approach from traditional maths books. You may enjoy some of the strategies and ideas in it, and through trying out these new methods and approaches, you can become a more confident mathematician. When we were writing this book, we were thinking about people with all kinds of neurodiverse ways of thinking, but the ideas in this book are great for everyone. We're sure that there's more than one way of doing everything, and this book allows you to choose the method that works for you. This book gets you to think about how you learn, to use equipment for a hands-on experience, to use pictures to help keep track of your thinking, to think about diagrams that might help with calculations or equations, to use movement, and we encourage you to make up songs about the maths if that's something that works for you. Here are a couple of ideas from the book. If you cut a table square into strips, you get a set of Napier's bones. They're named after a 16th century Scottish mathematician who invented them. And if you want to do a multiplication, like 371 times 3, you can put the bones for the 3 times table, the 7 times table and the 1 times table side by side. And there's a loop round the third row for this particular calculation. Notice the squares are split with diagonal lines, and you add the numbers in the stripes to get the answers. The book shows you how to move on from the objects to a table like this one, to give you an idea of how you can show your working for the calculation. And you can do harder and harder multiplications quite easily in the same way. Or thinking about directed number, that's positive and negative numbers. Lots of people find this difficult, but thinking about them on a number line helps some people, and drawing it vertically helps people who struggle with issues of right to left. But you can think of -1 as the opposite of 1, and in the book we think of them as characters, and then we use counters to represent them. The key point is that when you add 1 and -1 together, you get 0, and we describe the two counters as a 0 pair. You might say they cancel out, and you can have lots more 0 pairs, and you'll still have 0, because adding 0 doesn't change a number. This means we can do calculations with the counters. For example, 6 plus -2. We would use 6 yellow counters and 2 red counters, and to do the addition we put the counters together on the table. We regroup the counters to have 2 0 pairs. The 0 pairs cancel out, leaving me 4 for the answer. Or a subtraction, like 4 take away 5. When we've got 4 counters on the table, we can't take away 5 counters, so we add in some 0 pairs. And we've still got 4. And now we can take away 5. And if we hide the other 0 pairs, we can see that the answer is -1. And it's not just the basic stuff that benefits from this kind of approach. This is a topic from higher tier GCSE called completing the square, and this is done with algebra tiles. You can buy algebra tiles, or you can find them online, but this book has photocopiable pages in the resources section so that you can make your own. You might not like everything in this book, but we hope there are enough ideas that work for you that you can take away. It might change how you think and feel about GCSE Maths.